Taz Effect hits you like a wave, a fresh new spin on the news you crave. Turn the page and you'll see the light, a different angle that feels so right. No more waiting for the truth to show. Every story starts to glow. Daily news in a way you didn't know. It's the Taz Effect that steals the show. Open your mind, let the colors flow. Daily news in a way you didn't know.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect. Daily news in a way you did not know you could use. Hey, Nana J. I'm good, Nana J. There's a lot going on today. Now, because of the exorbitant amount of updates and news that is going on, and I don't want to shortchange anybody. There are a number of, I guess you could say, news specials that I have put out and will be putting out daily at this point. Every day at 1 p.m. over on YouTube at TazJ77. I do updates on Epstein Maxwell files and everything. Right now, Hillary Clinton is in the process of giving her deposition. Yes, she had stated, along with Bill, her husband, that they wanted it to be public. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee was like, no, we're going to do this behind closed doors. We'll record it. And then after everyone, quote unquote, approves it, we'll release it along with the transcripts. Now, James Comer, the chair of the Oversight Committee, has stated earlier today in a mini presser that every so often somebody from the committee would come out and update the media / the public, and then they would take questions. Now, his wording was a little off to me. Are you going to answer questions? Thus far, not too much information has been provided. I will say Ms. Hillary was like, you know what? I'm going to release a copy of my opening statement via social media to the public, and I will make sure that updates come out. So I do have updates posted on TikTok, and most of them are on YouTube. Once again, at TazJ77. Also, Candace Owens is keeping her foot on the neck of Erica Kirk. And yes, there's a new series that aired its first episode last night by Candace Owens. I will be breaking that down today at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, over on YouTube at TazJ77. And that series is called The Bride of Charlie. Yes, that is a play on words as far as The Bride of Chucky. Yeah. So we've got all of that rocking and rolling, moving and shaking, on top of all of the in-between news. There is updates regarding the whole BAFTA situation that happened over the weekend. So just so you know, while we won't be deep diving into that here because there's just not enough time to fit everything in. Okay? All right. We're good. Hello, Sabrina. David, over on YouTube. What does Barack Obama has to do with anything that we just discussed? Was you calling Barack? Let's put it up here for the people to say. You said Barack Hussein, the filthy beast Obama. What is that supposed to make me like crash out and go crazy? What was the point? What was the reason? If you're going to troll me, be better. Now, let's do a proper opening. For those that are tuning in over the radio airwaves, thank you for tuning in at gcpr.live. For everyone else watching and listening from all around the social media sphere, thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect. Once again, it is daily news in a way you did not know that you could use. Oh, David. Oh, you're racist and transphobic. And your PFP on YouTube is Batman? Woo! Comprehension flew over your head like you fly over the cuckoo's nest. Okay. Once again, who was discussing Barack Obama? You just see a black face and you think that, oh, if I bring up Barack Obama and I say something bad, it's going to make people go crazy. Who said anything about race? Why did you come to specifically my show on the YouTube side of things and bring up Barack Hussein Obama and call him a filthy beast and call his woman a man named Mike, if it wasn't for your racism? Oh, once again, a reminder, we just got a notification over on the TikTok side of things. If it should go down, you can join us and view on Substack, YouTube, all the places. You put Trump's face like an ape. Okay, for those that can see me while we do this show, where is Trump? Where is Trump in this broadcast? Where is Trump in this broadcast? When was Trump discussed? And David, dear, are you a part of his PR team? Are you a part of the White House press corps? His own family doesn't ride for him this hard. You put it saying Planet of the Grapes. No, I put it saying Planet of the Rapes. It's a graphic that's for sale on merchandise, but it's not here in this broadcast. So let me guess, you turned on notifications on YouTube to sit and wait for me to go live, for you to come and harass me and think that I was going to be offended because you're offended. So you came here to insult people that I am not related to, thinking that I was going to have what reaction? Was this supposed to put me in my place? Oh, here we go. Okay. Once again, take off the wig. What emotion is this supposed to invoke in me? Because right now, the emotion that it's invoking is amusement. You came here to comment and boost my content out to more people. You came here to engage with me, to get my attention, meaning that from whenever you first saw my merch till now, I've lived rent-free in the ghetto that is betwixt your ears and behind your eyes. You gave me that much control over you? I am a stranger. Anywho, let's get into the news. 1,355 visa hires, thousands of Americans laid off. Now Tesla must explain. A federal judge in San Francisco has ruled that Tesla must face a lawsuit accusing it of discriminating against American workers in favor of foreign nationals who can be paid less. Isn't it amazing that the people who stand up the most saying that no immigration, no immigration, no immigration are immigrants, recent immigrants, are or enjoy employing a whole lot of immigrants? The case moves forward through the court has already been made clear it is not entirely convinced by every claim. U.S. District Judge Vance allowed part of the suit to proceed while openly questioning key elements of it. In December last year, plaintiffs Scott Taub and Sophia Brander sued the electric car giant, alleging violations of federal civil rights law and claiming Tesla favored visa holders over U.S. citizens. Taub says he was discouraged from applying for an engineering role after a recruiter told him the position was open only to H-1B visa holders. Well, the United States is riddled with stupid people, but also your lawsuit isn't going to be taken too seriously given the climate and the environment of rampant racism at any company that Elon Musk is at the helm of. And especially Tesla, all of the stories and all of the subsequent lawsuits dripping in racism that have come out. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Hey, DJ. Yeah, so that's I don't think that's gonna go too far. Like, arguing that I'm white and they won't let me have this position, given all the other things that they do at Tesla. You'll do better to catch Elon Musk outside and fight him. Like, I'm just saying, this might boil down to fisticuffs. Now, if you recall from the State of the Union address, once again, the current sitting POTUS showed just how easily influenced he is by talking points and rhetoric. He once again perpetuated the lie that there's rampant fraud going on in Minnesota. Their source is someone who has been debunked regularly and is currently on another investigative journalism trip, showing that he does not know the order of operations of anything. Okay, this is someone who didn't understand medical complexes, just nothing. Okay, but JD Vance, JD, I can't wait for Trump to kick the bucket so I can move into the big boy chair. Vance states, Vance says administration is pausing some Medicaid funding to Minnesota because of fraud concerns. Now, I want you to think of something. If you are investigating something, making it known is just going to give people a way to preemptively cover their tracks. And if somebody's committing fraud, do you think withholding funds is going to harm them? He was shutting up. Yeah, you're right. Vice President put it in the pullout, announced Wednesday that the Trump administration would temporarily halt some Medicaid funding to the state of Minnesota over fraud concerns as part of what he describes as an aggressive crackdown on misuse of public funds. That would be cute if the VP and the P, the president, had the power to do so. But who controls the purse, ladies and gentlemen? Class, say it together, Congress. Who already approved and allocated the funds? Say it together with me, class. Congress. Who can determine whether or not the money gets there now? Or say it with me, loud and proud. Congress. Did Congress say that we're going to stop anything? No. When investigations are happening, how do you catch people? By letting them continue to do what they've been doing and make them get even more comfortable with it. They know that it's white people behind this. First of all, the fraud that was detected was already being investigated. Okay, court dates are already forthcoming. Trial dates already set. The mastermind behind this is a white lady. They are letting their racism drive them because they're doing this to allow more white people to get away with it. I want you to think about it. JD eyeliner Vance. Yeah. VP put it in the pullout. Now, VP put it in the pullout, who made the announcement with Dr. Mehmet Oz. You made the announcement with someone who has been repetitively accused of committing the fraud that you say you're investigating. Well, isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like fraud runs through the cabinet. It's a great definer for this administration. The administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services said the administration was taking the action in order to ensure that the state of Minnesota takes its obligations seriously to be good stewards of the American people's tax money. Now, there are a lot of people that are having a lot of hot takes, a lot of think pieces regarding this, and they're like, oh, they're trying to strong arm and intimidate Minnesota and make them an example. An example of what? Because they're not good at it. They're not good at bullying. This is an example. This is a real life docuseries on Trump's life, on how to be a piss poor bully and not know how to read the room and when to back away. Most bullies know, okay, I can't properly bully this person. Let me find a new target. Let me bully elsewhere. Not Trump, not this administration, because they have not gotten what they wanted out of Minnesota. Minnesota has been like, screw what you heard, knock if you buck. They're like, come outside. Come outside. There's like, can't nobody, who gonna whoop me? They put their whole charade on. If you know, you know. They like, who gonna whoop me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo? Come outside. Minnesota has not backed down for a minute. They were like, give me the voter rolls. Minnesota was like, no. Come take them. They're like, send in ICE. Minnesota was like, okay. We got the de-ice, baby. Like, they're like, we got antifreeze. Bitch, come on. Bring it. Like, you're not going to intimidate these people. You're not. They're not going to back down. Minnesota is like, we've been waiting for a good fight. Okay, we done had snow and snooze for too long. All we've been doing is training for this shit. Let's go. Okay, you got grandmamas that was looking at the Ukraine grannies like, we can do this. Come on, let's go. They've been waiting for this shit. Okay, we know that certain demographics from the South were like, I can't wait for Civil War 2.0. We gonna rise again. Minnesota been like, we've been waiting on this. We've been about this life. Bring it. You have thrown everything possible at Minnesota. You haven't won. What have we learned? You can put and try to intimidate places that are heavily populated by the melanated. You've already treated us like shit. We already know whether we fight back or we take it, we're getting the same punishment. It's no different than when I was younger. And there were a few instances where people were like, well, you seem to have changed. Why are you doing X, Y, and Z? I'm already being punished for the behavior. I might as well earn the punishment. That is how the melanated, the marginalized feel right now. And you keep, and by you, I mean this current administration, you keep going to where it's hefty in marginalization, where it's hefty in melanin. You already took stuff from us. You're already taking stuff from us. You're already putting us on punishment. You're already beating the shit out of us. What did you think was going to happen? Baby, it's 2026, okay? Juvenile done linked up with Meg Thee Stallion, and we got head tilted, no locks T.I. back. I knew something was cooking when Janet Jackson dust off everything and was like, I get so lonely. It's going down. Okay, you done woke up the forgotten generation. Okay, we was content to stay in the house with a fluffy blanket, some beverages, some snacks, and burning some green wood. If you know, you know. You done came to our front yard kicking up dust. Okay, what y'all did was this. If you mad, knock it off the shoulder. And we like, you know, leave us alone. Leave us alone. If you wanted to look like you were intimidating people, you should have went to some hoity-toity rich neighborhoods, but none with some baseball moms. I know everybody want to talk about the soccer moms. Soccer moms are really pushovers. And before you have us come into the comment section losing your shit, you are. You bitches are some pushovers. Where it's at in this order: baseball moms, because them heifers they own all the substances, and them Stanleys are full of alcohol. Strong alcohol, not strong, strong alcohol. Then you got the football moms, and then you got the basketball moms. Okay? In that order. Don't go nowhere where they got them. Don't go nowhere where they got them. Okay? Oh, we're not even getting to the hockey moms, because the hockey moms, it's expensive to play hockey. ICE can't get into them communities. They don't have the key code. Like, no. Y'all said that we're gonna go investigate fraud. JD Vance, how about you explain to me how your wife has been living in Cincinnati, Ohio, East Walnut Hills to be specific, and she got knocked up by you. So how much money was you spending to go travel there? And how much of the taxpayer money did you use for your kayaking trip for your birthday in Ohio? How much are we, the taxpayers, paying for your makeup, your hair and makeup? Because, like, this is the most hair and makeup that's come out of our budget for an administration since I've been alive. Pete Hegseth has hair and makeup. Christy Nome, hair and makeup. VP put it in the pullout, hair and makeup. And before you go, Taz, I saw a video last year of Jasmine Crockett talking about her makeup room that she pays for herself, so she can touch up and be presentable and job ready. Yeah, Caroline. Like, and Caroline, shouldn't you be preparing to go on maternity leave? Now, to the budding Hinkleys of the world. What's taking so long? This administration sucks at what they do. You got a bunch of openings. We don't make conspiracy theorists the way that we used to. We don't make assassins. What happened to the Assassin's Creed? Y'all don't take the creed no more. Y'all just to segue to our next story. Criminal act. FBI scrambles as leak reveals Cash Patel's long segments of leisure time. Bitch, we knew that. FBI Director Kasha Patel taxpayer-funded trip to Italy that culminated with him chugging beer with the U.S. hockey team was revealed Wednesday to have included long segments of personal and leisure time after the leak of an internal schedule, a leak that the FBI condemned as a criminal act, the New York Times reported, because that's what it was. Y'all want to talk about stealing wages? What do you think this administration has been doing? Y'all worried about Tom, Dick, and Harry's Walmart down the street. And you want to tell. Like when y'all told on that poor boy that was going to the dumpster, getting food that his employer was throwing out that was fully packaged because he was starving, and y'all got him fired. Talking about he was that's wage stuff, that's this stuff, that's that stuff. What about who's stealing our taxpayer dollars and not representing us? And what gets me is that Kasha Patel decided, I'm gonna go spray beer around, chug beer during a historic moment, and I'm gonna assume that nobody knew about it. Gosh, you are not white. They're not gonna protect you. At this point, white people ain't even protecting white people. Okay? White people are like, what brand of cracker are you? Are you Ritz cracker? Your townhouse cracker? You rosemary cracker? You Nabisco cracker? What brand? What flavor cracker are you? I need to know. First of all, who looked at his itinerary and thought the FBI that has no jurisdiction outside of the U.S. and its territories, yeah, we need to be at the Olympics. For what? For what? I mean, we already got Secret Service there because Vice President put it in the pullout was there because he likes to vacation on our dime. He said it, not me, on Katie Miller's podcast. As she was getting her kink on, just demolishing her husband's public image while talking to Mr. Flounder Run. We had ICE over there. Like, why do we need the FBI over there? Like, what did you think? And what did they expect from a man, Kasha, who spent a good chunk of the FBI budget to get luxury cars for him to be able to ride around in? Someone who used FBI resources for his girlfriend's girls' night out with her buddies. Like, y'all want to sit there and talk about beta males, simps, and everything else. This is a man who couldn't touch a cooter biscuit until he decided to. Cash out our tax dollars on cooter biscuit. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is the CIA's job. CIA is outside the country, FBI is inside the country. But Kasha Patel is cashing out a bitch on our... I ain't even got a whiff of this heifer's cooter biscuit, but I got to keep paying for international date nights, and I got to pay for girls' night for a booty I can't grab. You done lost your damn mind. You are not well. Yeah, Kasha. That's his name, Kasha Patel, Mr. Turtle himself, Turtle. Like, what the hell? And no, I'm not one of them just because I take you out on a date, I get to touch your undercarriage type of people. But for the amount of money that we as taxpayers have been spending on this bitch, all half a get in the stirrups. You about to be a private dancer. Dance for this money. Do what I tell you to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. You a pretty woman walking down my street. Pretty woman. Yes. You call yourself Julia Roberts 2.0. I don't give a damn what you call yourself. But what we done paid for you, Debbie, you about to do downtown everything. Okay? You doing Dallas, Detroit, Denver, you name it. Mm-hmm. You gonna suck, you gonna cuck, you gonna y'all know the word. I promised angry I would work on not saying the no word, since I'm pretty sure I set a record yesterday on accident. In my defense, it was on accident yesterday. It was not on purpose. I got a little too excited, and that is my go-to word. I'm like Lauren Palmer. Y'all know her as Kiki Palmer. But her name is Lauren. She wants to go back to Lauren. Check her out on Snap. Just what she go by. I respect what people want to be called. That's a favorite word. Just like the Angela Bassett said, that's her favorite word too. So I need y'all to say the no word for me a few times in the comments section. Because how you you about to be worn out. I hope you got Meg the Stallion knees. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. You about to take all of these. Take all of these. Backpack girlies, this is our time. Get your backpacks. Get your... I hope she know what a popper is, and I hope she know how to take them. Cause she about to take that. She getting all the strawberry baby Earl. Come on in. Come on in this room. Come on in this room. Cause we're gonna hit you with the zoomy zoom zooms. I think I've had too much caffeine today. Now we know the Pam Bondi has had some struggles. Struggles with her face, struggles with her credibility, struggles with aging, struggles with her face, struggles with her face. How do you pay that much money on plastic surgery and you let the evil in your body melt up and destroy and distort the plastic you injected into your face? Why you do that? Why you do that? But Pam Bondi has a new struggle. Mm-hmm. I bet she wish she only had a struggle love condoms theory. Bondi DOJ struggles to spell. Let me repeat that word. Bondi DOJ struggles to spell the name of person it's suing while proclaiming that ICE agents are the ones facing discrimination. Sounds about white. Sounds about very white. Very white. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm doubly laughing because one time somebody did threaten to sue me and kept spelling my name wrong, even when I took the time to write it down for them. The DOJ failed to correctly spell the name of the prominent official it sued in a case to invalidate a recently elected Democratic governor's executive order to stop warrantless ICE activities on New Jersey property. Y'all do realize public officials' names are all over the interwebs. We're not even going to talk about the resources that are readily available to federal organizations. But tell me again about that DEI. On February 11th, Governor Mikey Sherrill touted an executive order to bar ICE from using state property to launch immigration enforcement operations in the absence of a warrant signed by a judge. In the order itself, Sherrill cited as support for the ban some deeply troubling trends in militarized federal civil immigration enforcement in cities and states across the U.S., including the arrest and detention of U.S. citizens, including children, at times in the dead of night, mass agents unleashing chemical irritants on bystanders and nonviolent protesters, the killing of United States citizens by federal officials, and incidents involving racial profiling. But I want to take you all back because I want you to pay attention to something. Deeply troubling trends in militarized federal civil immigration enforcement. Just a reminder, they are not LEOs. They are not law enforcement officers. No different than USPS postal police. Bet y'all didn't even know that they existed. There's also USPS nurses. Did y'all know that? In a statement accompanying the order, Sherrill took aim at President Donald Trump Sr.'s administration and its lawless actions, referencing the lethal ICE and CBP shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minnesota. Let's not forget Mr. Porter in California. Given ICE's willingness to flout the Constitution and violently endanger communities, detaining children, arresting citizens, and even killing several innocent civilians, I will stand up for New Jerseyans' right to be safe, the governor stated. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi's DOJ responded on Monday with a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey, claiming that Cheryl made it state policy to obstruct and endanger law enforcement. Where? I don't think those words mean what you think they mean. Like everything is always framed around they're in danger, they're in danger. You got to pay attention to the law. And for if you're going to put into the narrative and lie to people and say that ICE and Border Patrol are law enforcement, then why must the regular, degular, schmegular citizens act as if we are the ones with the training and we are more emotionally and mentally and everything stable than they are? We should all be medicated, but we can't afford the medication. Bitch, leave us alone. We're not well. We are not okay. We're no longer hanging on. Our little light is dimmed, bitch. We can't afford the batteries. We moved from gas a long time ago. We tried the electric. We can't afford it. Okay. The light is out. States may not deliberately interfere with our efforts to remove illegal aliens and arrest criminals. New Jersey's sanctuary policies will not stand, Bondi said in a statement of her own. Well, if that's the case, when you gonna go get them out of the White House? When you gonna go get them out the White House? Solar panels are too expensive. Exactly. All right, DJ. Cheryl's last name was noticeably misspelled multiple times in the filing, including in the case caption, where the former Congresswoman's name appears as Cheryl, Sherrill. It's Sherrill is the correct spell. Multiple times. So nobody's proofreading. Nobody. But y'all said you were getting away from and doing away with DEI because that was just pushing unqualified people to the top. We got the biz to the biz now. We got rid of all the mediocre. No more mediocre. And now, what does this mean? Cheryl is being sued in her official capacity, but not sued according to her official name. The complaint additionally identifies defendant Mikey Sherrill as the governor of New Jersey. According to the DOJ, Cheryl's order contains the same problem of discrimination that another judge identified in a California federal lawsuit over the faces and names of ICE agents. White people, y'all do stuff like this and then turn around and look at us with a straight face and tell us y'all were supposed to be the bar to reach for, that y'all are the standard. And for those of y'all that are about to be like, not me, I'm white, but I'm not this white. I don't do that. You don't say shit about it either. You don't fight for better education on any grounds. Because deep down, y'all don't want the ones that are already leaps and bounds ahead of you to get even further ahead of you. You think that this is going to close the educational gaps. Y'all have already skewed the system when it comes to pay and wealth and everything else. Because for the ingenuity, the intellect that the melanated possess, wealth gap shouldn't be what it is. Hey, DJ. But y'all aren't fighting to stop this shit. I would be so embarrassed. There are multiple times, just going to speak on the Black community because I'm Black. that publicly and privately the Black community has called people in for saying some just egregious, just unintelligent shit that people have allowed to come back to just say publicly. Y'all just be like, well, this this just dim over there. I'm not practicing. I'm not. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Avoiding the topics is being a practicing white. Now, the United States has been getting a hard on just randomly killing people, acting like, we are the police of the planet, while having more criminals than a little bit in control of things. Yes, I'm being facetious with that one. But Cuban Coast Guard kills 4 in exchange of gunfire with stolen speedboat as ministry IDs criminal suspects. Country's interior ministry says those on board the vessel were criminal Cubans who were living in the U.S. And we cannot complain. We set the standard for them. Cuba's Coast Guard shot dead 4 people and wounded 6 others aboard a U.S. registered speedboat in an exchange of gunfire off the communist island's coast. This comes from Fox News. The Interior Ministry said Wednesday. In a statement, the ministry said a Cuban patrol vessel had approached the Florida registered boat to identify those on board when shots were fired from the boat, wounding the captain of the Cuban craft. If you are a citizen and a resident of the United States, leaving the United States does not mean that your privilege is increased. Like, people are going to be like, oh my God, you're from the U.S. Let me bow to you, daddy. Yeah, you can get what you want, daddy. No, that's not how that works. They can't stand us. And we can't fight, number one. Number two, Cuban Americans. And y'all know the subset of Cuban Americans that I'm talking to. Don't come over here barking like a hit dog if you ain't down on all fours, okay? Stand up. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? They're going to keep using you as pawns, and we know what happens to pawns. We know how valuable pawns are. It does not matter how blonde you make your hair. It does not matter how much you try to suppress your accents, and even your dialects. It does not matter how much you are willing to lie on your own people and other marginalized melanated people. It does not matter how many white coochies and dangalangs you swap juices with or stick in your face. You are still not their brand of white. You are breathing currency. They will spend you and never pick up the change. Now that we joked about Patel earlier, well, I'm not done doing that. But he did accomplish some work. Is it the work that we needed accomplished? You be the judge. FBI Director Kash Patel ousts personnel tied to Trump classified documents probe. But it was the last administration that was weaponizing the federal government and federal agencies. FBI Director Kash Patel ordered the ouster of at least 10 employees involved in the investigation of President Donald Trump Sr.'s alleged mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. 4 people briefed on the matter told CNN. The ousters are part of a wider internal investigation into the actions taken in the probe that resulted in criminal charges against Trump and 2 of his employees. 3 people briefed on the matter said. Patel ordered the wider investigation. So you can order all of these investigations, but you're still dropping the ball when it comes to Nancy Guthrie being missing, the Brown mass shooting, investigating the death of Charlie Kirk. Patel ordered the wider investigation following the discovery of documents showing that the FBI used subpoenas to obtain his communication records and the communications of now White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles during a 2022-2023 probe that eventually came under the leadership of Special Counsel Jack Smith. The people briefed on the matter said, "Yeah, y'all know that because Jack Smith put it in his report and handed you the report." But that's how investigations go. Y'all were all a part of the inner circle of Trump. If somebody I'm close to, I found out that they broke the law, I'm gonna assume that our communications were looked into. That somebody got a subpoena for them along the way, somewhere, somehow. I'm not gonna get offended and be retaliatory unless I was conspiring with them in regards to the crime. And then, hey, and then it got caught. Then some way, somehow, I got put in charge of the agency that would, come cart us all off to jail. But y'all do realize Trump ain't gonna live forever. This ain't fame. I wanna live forever. No, no. Y'all are not. These are not lifetime appointments, and this ain't a lifetime movie. At this point, I feel like everybody in this administration is going to be treated like Yolanda Saldivar, and since she ain't getting out of prison anytime soon, knuckle up. I'm just saying. And before somebody goes, I can't believe she's threatening this administration. Shut the fuck up. Oops, my bad. I said it. Okay. I got almost through. We got 15 minutes left. All right. We're gonna run through a Guthrie update and then an update of sorts regarding the US hockey team. I'm gonna run them back to back. Okay, I'm gonna pull myself from the stream because I want y'all to pay attention. Because for some reason, when I'm still on the screen and I run this stuff and tell you gotta listen to it, y'all don't. I would ask if y'all okay, but I read y'all DMs and I read y'all emails. Y'all are not okay, but you're my brand of not being okay, so it's cool. I know. I still love you too. I went. It's the final countdown. Get it to the end. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. This might become a primetime show. There we go.
I'm your common sense gay, and something has really been bugging me about this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, as you know, especially this photo here, and I'm gonna prove it's not the same photo from the same night. Ready? I've only seen one person comment on this, and they're like, it's not the same guy. He's got a different shirt on. He's got no backpack here. He's got different sneakers, but they're missing the biggest part. Blackness in the background, lightness in the background. This wasn't taken the same night. Actually, this night was the actual night of the kidnapping because this is the night he goes, picks up the flowers and puts them over the camera, right? And it's really bright outside. The camera's picking up a lot of ambient light because it was the snow moon. And I looked it up, and between the hours of 1:40 in the morning and 2:40 in the morning when she was kidnapped, the ambient lighting was at 99% of the moon. This could not have been taken at the exact same time. Yet Kash Patel said this was the night of the kidnapping. He did not say it was the night of the casing. Here's the tweet. There's the photo. Additional recovered images from the same camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning of her disappearance. There's no way. Today, the FBI asked for footage from January 11th between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight. I looked back at that time period, and coincidentally, the moon did not rise until 2:13 in the morning of January 12th. I actually looked back until January 9th, and the moon didn't start rising until 12 a.m. the next morning. And it just kept rising later every night until January 11th when it rose at 2:13 in the morning. So now, same position, look, you can see all the background houses, all the plants, everything, all the vegetation. This was not taken the same night. So here we are 12 days later, and I've proven that they've released photos of this guy that are from different nights when he was casing this place. This is not an amateur. He knew this camera was here. So why did he do this? Why were these theatrics like this? What's up with the foliage? That doesn't even make any sense. But we know the foliage was there. And why is Google holding footage in the back-end systems for 2 weeks without a subscription? That's bizarre. That's for another video, by the way. What is going on? And then they just find a glove randomly? And I thought we were paying the ransom. Something odd is going on. I want to know in the comments what you think. I'm a Common Sense Gay. Like, follow, and share. Until the next one.
There is one player, that guy, Austin Matthews, the captain of Team USA, because his story and this entire charade, quite a conundrum. Let's start with his family's lineage. His mom's name is Emma. Now, Emma is from Mexico, which means Austin Matthews is the first Mexican-American to win the gold in hockey. Now, one would think he would take pride in being the first Mexican-American to win gold in hockey. Instead, he's endorsing stuff that the president has said about his own people. The way he has targeted Mexican immigrants through his dangerous rhetoric. And this isn't once or twice, of course. This is over the span of 10 years now. So you think Austin Matthews is going to pull him aside, have a little chat? No, he's not. He's loving every second of this. Another important point about Matthews, tattooed on his body is a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. One user transcribed it: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." But then there's also the team that he plays for, Toronto. You know, the major city in a country that is being talked about, where the Great One is even endorsing it to become the 51st state of the United States of America. On top of this, he may now not even play in the Maple Leafs' game back from the Olympics break because he was too busy partying in Miami at a strip club and then yucking it up with the president. They say ignorance is bliss, but I would actually call it a privilege, a white privilege.
I need y'all to understand that a lot of people will fight you about whether or not they are racist because their definition of racism includes violence. Oh, everything is wrong with that kidnapping. It's been 27 days. Yep. And I've got as many updates as there are available up, but something is off. Something is very off. The communique, the lack of urgency, all of these things. Something's off. Something's very off. But no, a lot of people do believe that they're not racist because when they think of racism, they think of bombings, shootings, burning crosses. And if they're like, well, if I'm not doing that, I can't be racist. You're Mexican. But I told you a couple months back, isn't it funny that we went from a good year and a half of a certain demographic trying to distance themselves from whiteness, trying to show us all the different ways that they're spicy white or not quite white or all these things, and now they're not doing that. Because 'tis the time of year that there's generally an influx of white women with box braids telling you how to take care of locks and everything else. Coming on in bonnets going, "You mad? Ain't you mad? I got the bonnet on." Because, holidays, hot girl summer, they need the coins to pay for it, but they're not doing that. They need all of the protection that their privilege, aka their white leverage, gives them. That thing that they claim doesn't exist. They know it exists, and they know when to yield it. They know when to step into their default damsel in distress hood. But also, a lot of them will argue you to the nail. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. Because in their mind, they didn't shoot you. They didn't set your house on fire. They didn't put a burning cross in front of your property. Now, with that, thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect. We're going to try again tomorrow to get through a whole episode without saying the no word. Going to work on it. I'm going to be a more mature person tomorrow. Going to turn over a new leaf. Okay. Hey, Harley, they heard you tippy tap in. Don't look at me like that. You're the one that's sound like you got no high heels. Look at me, giving me the Sasha. Okay, I won't talk to you no more. My bad. Jesus, I'm still in trouble. She's still not following. And then Jay said, "Huh? Okay, she don't care. I think I'm still in. I'm in timeout. That's the closest she done been to me all day. Like last night, I tried to make amends and tell her night before I went upstairs to bed. I'm pretty sure in her mind, she was cussing real good at me. I'm pretty sure she was cussing real good at me. But all right. Do not forget, if you have if you have a small business, you're an entrepreneur, you would just like to see and or hear your place of business advertised here with us at GCPR, make sure you go to gcpr.live and click on advertise with us, and we will get you on the air tonight. Also, hey, Tree Spick. Also, do not forget, tomorrow is Flag on the Play Friday. On the Sound of Coffee. Starting your day off at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern. And if you would like to submit your own personal flag on the play, commercial is up. Make sure you put in a $5 super chat or send it directly over to gcpr.live and submit your personal flag. And we'll get it up on the air. It will be read by yours truly, Thomas, the villain, the brutalist, Bishop. Okay. Also, keep in mind that you can also, for $10, get your very own novelty ad read to you on your favorite show by your favorite host here at GCPR. Once again, hit us up at gcpr.live. We are here for you. Your choice, our voice. We will make it happen. If you like what I do over here at the Taz Effect, and you want to keep the lights on and keep seeing and hearing your girl, make sure you go to the clickables in my link or go to tazisms.com. Remember, for the rest of the month of February, BHM26 gets you 20% off the totality of your purchase. And yeah, we got No Kings, Mancacity, Orangatron, Planet of the Grapes. Well, grapes. All that good stuff over there on Tazisms. Also, make sure if you enjoy history and all things that are Taz-tastic, make sure you are subscribed on TikTok and on Substack so we can have a rocking good time. Other than that, we got more jam-packed tasks for you. Tonight. At 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, we will continue with the Kirk Conspiracy to go over Candace Owens' new series, its first episode, A Wrinkle in Time for her series, The Bride of Charlie. After that, at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, continue with the Learning Through Literature series, going through Virginia Roberts Giuffre's memoir, Nobody's Girl. Virginia Roberts Giuffre was one of the most outspoken victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. After that, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on these GCPR airwaves, you will get Superplex Party. So if you're into the wrestling, or you just want to look at some eye candy, come through with the come through. See Twin, the angry IT nerd, and Thomas the Villain Bishop, and I believe General Gambit will be joining also. Talk about all things wrestling. And a few life lessons thrown in there too. All right. Thank you for joining me. And as always, each one teach one, each one reach one. And remember, don't do anything that requires bail, not in this economy. And most importantly, it only requires bail should you get caught. Be good or good adjacent.
Quarter biscuit coupons in my hand. This town